And I'll tell you something right now. I don't want to hear another word on this show or anywhere about Chris Paul. That is it. That is finished, okay? Kaput, done, complete. It's finished. The idea that we put Chris Paul in the top 5 in the history of the NBA at that position is incredibly insulting to anybody who has seen Magic, seen Isaiah. You ever see Isaiah play a game like that? In a big spot, have 1 point at the half, and the guy that he's guarding scores 27? I mean, in a game 7 in his building? I never saw it, and I've been watching NBA playoff basketball since the late 60s. How about Clyde Frazier? His game 7 against West Baylor and Wilt. 36 points, 19 rebounds, and 19 assists and 12 rebounds. Did Chris Paul do that? He had 1 point at the half. I mean, that was as bad a performance in a big spot I have ever seen. And he wasn't good in Game 6 either, from what everybody told me. But enough of Chris Paul. Yes, he's a Hall of Famer. Nobody's going to dispute that. He's a Hall of Famer. But to put him up there with the icons when he's played in one final, a final in which his team lost the last 4 games, I can't listen to. And Phoenix, who I was not high on to begin with, I did think they win this series. I was as surprised as anybody in Game 7. But Phoenix's performance in big spots, and, listen, I love Monty Williams too, but Monty Williams got completely outcoached by Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd's got Doncic, who's an all-timer, and he's got a bunch of role guys, and Monty Williams has 2 Hall of Famers in his backcourt, and he gets killed by 40, 50 points in a Game 7 in his building? Really? That's pathetic. There's nothing else to say. And I love Monty Williams. He got railroaded out of New Orleans. We all know the tragedy personally. Nobody's going to sit there and not like Monty. He was in New York, but he got completely, a kid just did it. They were tight, the Suns. They got bad shots. It was awful. It was unwatchable. And I'll tell you something right now. You want to talk about? I'll tell you who we're going to be. I'll tell you who we are going to be putting up there in 10 years. The top all 5 type point guards in the history of the league. Doncic. That's who we are going to be putting up there. That guy. He is an assassin, and that's what I want my point guards to be. He knows he's better than you, and he lets you know about it, and he loves to beat you. He's an assassin. He loves ripping your heart out and spitting on it. That's what I want my basketball players to do in big spots. I want them to rip their grandmother's arm off. That's what I want. And he does that. He does that. No messing around. He destroyed Phoenix. And what, Spencer Dinwiddie, is that big a deal? He destroyed him. He didn't beat Phoenix. He embarrassed them. He laughed in their face in that building. In their face. And I'll tell you right now, if I hear another word on I swear, anywhere, I don't care if I hear it on the MLB Network. Which I won't, as we break down, the Astros showcase game against the Red Sox today, I will not, under any if I hear another word about Chris Paul and how great he is, I'm going to vomit. You got to be kidding me. Really, folks? This is what you're going to do? Great players, that doesn't happen to the great player. I can't think of, listen, a great player has won 5 championships, has a bad series, you can live with it. Paul's never done anything. He's played in 1 conference final for the last 18 years. And it wasn't like Wake Forest made the Final 4. And he's played in 1 million franchises. 1 million of them. But it was a very disappointing day in the NBA. And really it was a disappointing weekend. Morant doesn't play. They lose. Game 5 was a disaster. Game 6, good fourth quarter Warriors. Harden stinks. They were awful. And by the way, can I say one other thing on that subject? Can we take Daryl Morey out of the Hall of Fame? There's another guy who gets so much credit for such little work. I've never seen a general manager get the acclaim that he gets when forget winning a championship. He's never even taken a team to a final. And you would think that he is essentially a combination of Red Auerbach and Pat Riley. He has, isn't the idea to win? Isn't that the idea? Isn't the idea to take your franchise, put the necessary pieces together, and go out there and have a chance to win some championships? He's built his whole franchise, his whole career around James Harden. Does that look good now? But I was hopeful for a huge weekend in the NBA, maybe 4 Game 7s. I thought maybe Philadelphia would show up. Who knew on Memphis? I thought maybe we get lucky. We only got 2, and both games, you know what you would have been better off doing? Mets Mariners in the afternoon yesterday, which was a classic finish, and stick Rangers Pittsburgh. unwatchable basketball. Call it like we see it. And one thing, I like calling, but one thing for Kevin Holland, and I must say, when Paul scores his first basket in the fourth quarter and they're down 50, you can't make it seem like it's a Game 7 winner. Hey, Chris Paul, the game is over, son. It's over. So is that argument over.